In the past year, I've spent over 6 figures on paid ads generating leads for my clients' wholesale businesses. In this video, I'm going to give you the 4 reasons why you need to be all in on paid ads in 2026. Out of the dozens and dozens of wholesalers that I work with on an active daily basis, and those that come to me through sales calls and need a different solution to a problem they've been facing, I've noticed overall a congruent pattern that they've all at least experienced at one point in their career. For those that are actively experiencing problems, most of it comes down to just not having predictable lead flow. And what I've noticed is this. Most wholesalers rely on cold calling, driving for dollars, or direct mail to find motivated sellers in order to acquire more clients. But the problem with this is it's just not predictable and it's not consistently scalable. And this unpredictability is what keeps wholesalers stuck on the hamster wheel, grinding, spending all of their time in the business, acquiring just 1 to 3 deals a month, and instead of being able to step outside of that role and be able to delegate, hire, and be able to scale their business and so on. And the solution to this is paid ads, whether you use Google, YouTube, Facebook, however you want to use it. When done correctly, these are the only channels that are actually going to help you scale your business in 2026. If you aren't running paid ads, you're not going to have consistent lead flow. It's as simple as that. I've noticed during my time that there are 3 different camps or groups of wholesalers. Camp 1 has never run paid ads before. They think they're too expensive and they're only run by big hedge fund guys or the top companies, and they just never think it actually will work for them. A typical statement I hear from this camp is, motivated sellers aren't on Facebook or YouTube. This is not going to work for me. Now in Camp 2, these guys have run ads before. They've probably gotten some leads in the pipeline through Facebook, through YouTube, maybe Google, PPC, but the cost per lead has probably been way too high for them, or they just got a bunch of tire kickers, unmotivated sellers, and then they just dropped it off. They said, this isn't for me. I've tried everything and I just haven't had anything work. And then there's Camp 3. These guys already have an ad to acquisitions machine and they're generating at least 5 to 15 deals a month. And if this is you, go click on this video over here. Now, if you resonated with any of this in the video so far, either you don't think ads work at all, you have tried them before and you just couldn't get them to work, and you just don't understand the value in why ads are so important, these 4 reasons are absolutely urgent for 2026 so you do not waste hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars potentially on the table moving into 2026, the end of it, and going into 2027. So let's go into it right now. Now, reason number 1, it's the most obvious, but when running paid ads properly, it leads to more consistent and more predictable deal flow. Now, I've seen this hundreds and hundreds of times, and I'm sure you felt this too, that when you're cold calling and texting, you're at the mercy of the lead list quality. You're calling everybody else on the same lists, and even if you have your own, they're not guaranteed to pick up the phone and they have no clue who you are. And on top of that, there are getting increasingly hostile regulations being put in place, whether that's A2P compliance, TCPA, anything that is preventing you from actually getting to the customer the most conveniently. And on top of it all, answer rates drop significantly because of this. When you're driving for dollars, you're capped based on how long you're going to be driving per day. It doesn't scale past that limit. And with direct mail, which by the way, absolutely can work. I'm not claiming that it doesn't work or anything like that. But if you're, especially you're newer and you don't want to wait 4 to 8 weeks to see if a campaign actually performed, this is an extremely slow process in order to see results. And on top of that, print and postage costs are rising significantly as well. And so we run into a math problem. If you need at least 25 to 30 conversations every month just to lock up one contract, then you can't manually scale your way out of this because you're capped using all of your time on these 3 methods. And don't get fooled because of 1 month you've had compounding results over the course of manually outreaching over and over and over again. 1 month you might get 7 different contracts locked up, but then the next month you get 0 or maybe 1 contract, and it's just not predictable enough to have that consistent volume every single month. And this is why paid ads are so crucial. Take $2,000, set it aside for the month, and that's it. Once you have obviously the ad creative set up and everything, the system is on go. You click a button and it runs for you. It generates you those 20 conversations, and you can close a deal and focus your time on the actual clients instead of the manual labor of actually extracting them, finding them, selling them, etc. In comparison, when they come to you, they know who you are, they like you, they trust you, and now you have a consistent deal flow and a machine that runs with you on autopilot. And to further my point, remember, when they come in through ads and you have an optimized funnel, they've raised their hand saying they're interested in selling their property, and they've already seen, most likely, again, if you have an optimized funnel, your reviews, your reputation, what you offer, everything is provided to them so that it makes it a no-brainer option for them to at least have a conversation with you, and you know that you're getting qualified people into the pipeline. Reason number 2 is the no money for time trade-off. Cold calling more hours, pulling more lists, driving around more neighborhoods requires more hours of your time, or hiring VAs or contractors in order to get you more leads. And what you're essentially doing is scaling a cold call operation. And this means you're going to be recruiting new people, you're going to be training them, providing them scripts, providing them dialers, having list management, dealing with all the compliance headaches. And at this point, you become a call center manager and not really an investor. With ads, when you set up the funnel properly and your cost per contract works, scaling literally just means increasing your daily budget on the ad spend. Now, a lot of people ask me the metrics, and it does vary based on the channel you're running. If you're running more top of funnel stuff, you'll see cost per leads as low as like $30. And if you use higher intent platforms like Google PPC, you're going to be spending anywhere upwards of like $250, sometimes $300 per lead. The quality will vary and be different, but you're going to have the trade-offs. And at the end of the day, an optimized funnel is going to even out with a cost per contract of anywhere from about $1,500 to about $3,500. And with an average assignment fee of $10,000 to $25,000, if you're not doing luxury, then it's completely unmatched. You can literally take a week off and you're going to get the same amount of leads that you did last week. But try that with cold calling. Reason number 3 is targeting precision. Meta and Google knows who's in financial distress way more than any skip trace list. This is extremely prevalent when you're talking about Google and PPC. And if you don't know what PPC stands for, it means pay per click. And the reason is because you're capturing the moment exactly when someone is in need of selling their property. They'll go on Google and type in "sell my house fast in your city," or "cash home buyers near me," or if your company's a little bit larger, then they're going to type in your company name. Let's say you have a billboard, etc. And these are the highest intent leads that exist on the internet, period. You can also layer retargeting ads on your existing website visitors, and you can import existing lead lists that you already have from leads that have already closed, and Facebook will also learn off of that. In 2026, you want to start broad with your targeting and just let the creative do the work, because Meta's Andromeda update makes it completely user-friendly to be able to identify exactly who's in financial distress. And it's always been this way, but it's never been more prevalent now that the creative does 90% of the ads work. And you can do this in your ads by creating video ads that speak to your avatar directly. Tired landlords, people who inherited a property, people going into foreclosure or stopping foreclosure, etc. And make sure to use their language as well. No fees, no agents, no repairs, sell on your timeline, because this is going to resonate with them directly and they can actually feel the possibility of something working for their specific scenario. And then when they land on a landing page or your website and you have a form to capture their information, use conditional logic. So those that are in an urgent situation that need to sell in under a month, that are experiencing financial stress, etc., can move through, and anyone who's already listed with an agent is automatically kicked off from the list, for example. And this all around makes it better, because when a high qualified lead comes into your acquisitions team, they talk to them and it makes it a lot easier for them to close the deal instead of having to sell them a million different ways when your ads can do all the selling for you. Reason number 4 is fast feedback loops. With $2,000 a month spent in ads, you can test your market, your offer, and your messaging within weeks. And it doesn't have to take every 3 months in order to find out if your results are actually working. Every seller conversation teaches you what motivates people in your market to sell at a discount. With direct mail, you wait 6 to 8 weeks just to find your campaign flopped. With ads, you can know in days whether you're going to kill the ads or scale creatively. The process is fairly simple. Just get to 20 to 30 seller conversations as fast as possible. At that point, you can refine your acquisition script, your comps process, and your offer strategy. Once you find that message market fit for your farm area, you can dominate it before any other competitors catch on. Now, if you're looking to get started running paid ads for your wholesale business, I've recorded an entire free course going over everything you need, from setting up the ad account to recording the ads themselves. I'll link that right here. That's all for this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.